Among all the martial art in the world, I love wrestling the most. And this is why I have been studying wrestling for a long time. Besides all other martial art styles, I find wrestling to be more interesting because it has all the elements of martial art. You can use it in hand to hand combat, you can use it in mixed martial art, you can use it in self defense, and you can use it during wartime as well. It is one of the most effective versatile martial art in the world, and almost all society have their own form of wrestling. Bangladesh is not different. In our country, we do have our own form of wrestling, and this video I'm going to discuss about the wrestling style of Bangladesh and the current situation of wrestling as a sport. So, the story of Bangladesh, you can trace it back to the days of British colonialism. During at that time, there were resistance group who were training in wrestling in order to train them so that they can have hand they can engage in war, and they can defend the colonization of British Empire. This is why they were training wrestling at that time. One of the most famous wrestling style that was invented at that time was Boli Khela or Boli wrestling. From the name, you can already understand that Boli wrestling is invented by someone named Boli, who is also a famous British resistant group leader. So this style of wrestling most resembles to Greco-Roman wrestling because they were mostly training for hand-to-hand combat, and during hand-to-hand combat, in war time situation, Greco-Roman wrestling is the most effective one. So they were using these techniques, and they were practicing it, organizing events every year, celebration every year, where wrestlers from all over the world, sorry, all over the country came and participated in these events. And this tradition still exists in many parts of Chittagong. They still arranges yearly month long wrestling tournaments where wrestlers from all over the country come and join and participate, and they have their own champion. Right now, the current reigning champion is Bagha Sharif, who is known as a local legend. He has dominated the wrestling scene of the country, and he is an exceptional wrestler despite not having any prior traditional coaching or any institutional coaching. He has developed a wrestling style that showcases his pure dominance and strength. He was not a wrestler before that. I mean, he was not a wrestler for all of his life. He was a butcher actually, and he had natural strength. So he started wrestling, and he realized that his natural strength is helping him to gain fame and popularity. That's why beside his butchering, I mean, profession, he kept going in wrestling, and right now he's one of the most famous guys in the wrestling um, wrestling sports in Bangladesh. So why they are interested, what motivates the local wrestling guys to engage in wrestling in local scene, and why they are not participating in international tournament, Olympics, or sports in that area. So the main reason, yes, we do have international, national wrestling guys, wrestling team, but they are separated from the local wrestling scene. There is a reason for that. These local wrestlers, they are very good and dominant wrestlers in mud, in traditional wrestling setting, which takes place in outdoor field, but they are not very skilled wrestlers when it comes to indoor setting, and wrestling wearing shoes, wrestling shoes. Also, there are some other reason. These guys who are participating in local wrestling, they are mostly after fame and popularity. They enjoy it. They don't earn much money, but they are respected. They are anywhere they goes in the country, they are treated as a celebrity, and they enjoys it. Everyone respects them, everyone tries to listen to them what they have to say, and they enjoy these moments, and they are considered as local legends. On the other hand, the international wrestling or national wrestling guys mostly comes from defense background. They only wrestles because it is required for their, I mean, for army training, for BDR training, for their defense training, and it is one part of their job. This is why they wrestles and they sometimes participate in international tournament, but they are not known in the local scene. They are not even known in the international scene, and there is a dispute, ongoing internal dispute that is ongoing between the wrestlers who participate in the local international tournaments and they are under the national team, and the local legends who are considered local legends and they participate in local wrestling tournaments. These local wrestling guys, they don't think that these national level wrestlers are very skilled, and they will lose when if they comes to their wrestling ring which is in the field and they compete with them. But the national wrestling champions or the national wrestling wrestlers, they think exactly opposite. They think that the local wrestlers, they are not very good, they are not very skilled. For sometimes I used to think the same. I used to think that these local wrestling guys, they are just local wrestlers. They just are after fame, so they don't care. So they are not after fame. So the local wrestling guys are competing with each other, and they are, I mean, treated as a celebrity in the local scene. So I thought that, yeah, probably they're not very skilled, but I was completely wrong. When I watched them, I actually used to visit those tournaments. I personally witnessed them participate in wrestling tournaments and compete with each other. And I also have seen international American college wrestlers who are giants, 6 feet, 6 feet 5 inch tall, and obviously they are um, 2 or 3 weight class above the local wrestlers. They used to come and compete with these local wrestlers, and they couldn't take him down, and they couldn't win against them. And it was very astonishing, and it was a um, what the word I was very surprised watching them, watching these tournaments, this competition. And my um, the wrong conception or the wrong idea that I had about these local wrestlers were became completely out. They were gone when I saw them competing with these international wrestlers. So yeah, this is the current scenario right now. But the local wrestlers, they don't get enough media presence. Media is not interested in these games and tournaments because they some of them are not aware, or some of them think it is just a village game, so why would we bother? But these are high level wrestlers. I can vouch for them because I have seen them competing. If they are trained, they get training from international good coach. They have the skills to bring gold medals from South Asian tournaments. Also, they can bring Olympic gold medals and they can become Olympic champions. However, currently the national guys, the national wrestlers, they are all from defense. The truth is they don't care about winning medals that much. They're just there so that their job, so they can fulfill the requirement for their job. That's it. They don't care about becoming a champion. They don't push themselves enough. But these local guys, they are actually after fame. They are actually after glory. They understand glory and fame. So if we can train them properly and give them proper training, they have the skills, they have the um, I mean, they have all the skills required. They have the spark that is required to become a champion. They probably don't have all the skills, but if they have raw skills, raw strength, and if these skills and raw strength are polished, you can get a very good wrestler. You can turn them into very good Olympic wrestlers, and this is what we need right now. Our sports department, our sports, I mean the people who are in charge of taking decision in, I mean, sports management in our government, they should consider this. They should put an eye on these wrestlers. They should give them money. They should give them training facilities and proper coach so that they are trained and so that they can bring Olympic gold medals. And I have also another plan with these wrestlers, which I will discover, which I will, I mean, share with you guys later on. But I do think these wrestlers have great potential for bringing future gold medals in our country, for our country.